Okay, January 25th. 1877 on this date, Congress settles the disputed election of 1876 between Samuel Tilden and Rutherford B. Hayes. It was a controversial election. It continues to this day. It's still one of the most disputed, most controversial elections in our history. So what happened was in 1876, when they got done counting the votes, Samuel Tilden had a lead of 184 electoral votes to 165 for Hayes. He only needed 185 to win and become president. But there were four states that were in dispute: Florida, Louisiana, South Carolina, and Oregon. In Oregon, it was an easy one. There was one elector who actually wasn't qualified to be an elector, and so they kicked him out, and they had to redo some picking the electors. But in the other three states, Florida, Louisiana, and South Carolina, both parties claimed a victory and sent their electors to Washington, D.C. So the Congress had to decide which electors they were going to accept. After a lot of dispute, a lot of debate, they finally agreed with the Democrats that they would put together a 15-person commission to go down, investigate, and decide. So the House and Senate each sent 5, then the Supreme Court sent 5. So the Senate was controlled by Republicans. House was controlled by the Democrats. Supreme Court, they picked 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, and a fifth one that they felt was independent. But the independent David Davis from Illinois was just elected to the Illinois legislature, elected him to the Senate. Democrats in Illinois thinking they just kind of bought his support by voting for him. But he surprised them by resigning from the Supreme Court to take his seat in the Senate. All the remaining justices were Republicans, so it ended up being 3 Republicans and 2 from the Democrats from the Supreme Court. So the total commission was 8 Republicans, 7 Democrats, and they ultimately voted along party lines to seat Rutherford B. Hayes. The Democrats finally gave in because Hayes promised to only serve 1 term and promised to remove troops from the South, ending Reconstruction. So that's it. 1877, the Congress decides the controversial election of 1876. I will see you tomorrow.